Donna, we know from the Pentagon that this attack began about 3 hours ago. It involved more than a dozen missiles being fired from inside Iran, targeting those air bases in Iraq, as you mentioned, that house U.S. troops. This is the exact scenario that the U.S. had been preparing for, and essentially that Iran had warned that it would carry out in retaliation for the killing of General Soleimani. The Iranians had made it clear that they would launch direct attacks in response and wouldn't rely on their proxies, and the Americans came to believe that those direct attacks would be on U.S. forces in the region. So they were prepared for this, likely hunkered down. As you mentioned, there are early reports of Iraqi casualties. The Pentagon says it is still carrying out a damage assessment at those bases and is still waiting to see exactly how much damage there is before determining what kind of response there will be. As we understand it, there have been at least 2 waves of ballistic missile attacks from Iran tonight, but again, the details still unfolding at this hour. It's going to be a very tricky and delicate situation for the White House. At this hour, we understand that President Trump is monitoring the situation from the White House Situation Room. The ball is effectively now in his court. He has to decide if or how he responds to this attack. Obviously, that will depend on the magnitude of the damage and the attack itself. Earlier today, though, he issued a stern warning from the Oval Office that any Iranian retaliation would be met with a full-throated American response. Perhaps there is some room to dial things back here. You heard the president make reference to cultural sites today and how he might try and avoid him. That is a change in tone from earlier this week when he said he would target Iranian cultural sites. That would violate international law. So, Donna, perhaps if he's willing to step back there, all-out war can be avoided. It's all going to unfold very rapidly, and we'll be watching closely over the next few hours.